All right, so I'm going to walk through this sample question, most common powers. This is a pretty difficult problem. So I remember right, let me go up. And I don't remember my data sets already. So powers DF, this has the different superpowers of the different superheroes. So let's go back down and look at powers DF. And so what I want to do is I want to go and for each of these columns after hero names, I want to go and count up how many trues there are. So let's just try and do that for agility to start. And if we do dot sum with a Boolean, it will add up all the trues. And let's see what we get. We get 242. And let's try it for the next thing, accelerated healing. I get 178. And bear with me, let me run everything above this. Run all above. And that's what I thought. So, and I apologize for the confusion, but these are actually objects, which makes it much more difficult. So when I do a sum of it, it's just adding up all of the trues and falses. So I can't, it's not a Boolean, so I'll need to convert it to a Boolean. We look at D types, you see we got a bunch of objects. I do dot info. We see we have 168 objects. So every column here is an object. So what I want to do is convert it to a Boolean. One way to do that is make a column to a map to it. So I'm going to make a dictionary. And I want to convert trues to be true. And I want to convert falses to be false. So convert a string true to a Boolean true and a string false to a Boolean false. So to do this, I'll grab a column and I'm going to start with the agility. And I want to map to this. And then I end up with this. And so if I just grab the first one, it's a true. And if I look at the data type, it's a Boolean. So if I add sum these now, I'm going to get something that actually matters. Dot sum. I get 242. So I need to convert it to a Boolean before I can start adding them up. And you may notice there's 168 columns. I'm not going to be taking this first column because that's the name, but I need to do this to 167 columns. So doing this by hand, what I just did, is not really an option because that'll take all day. So I'm going to build another dictionary for each in this dictionary. I'm going to put in the column name and I'm going to put in the count, then do it for the next one and the next one. So what I can do is grab powers df.columns and I can loop through this. I don't want to loop through the first column, which is name. So if I do that, now I just have the superhero columns. So I want to loop through this for superpower in df.columns. First thing I always do in a for loop, I print out my variable superpower. So these are all the superpowers, and I need to put this into a dictionary. So I'm going to make a dictionary called superpower dict. Superpower dict. And I'm going to be kind of following the same process that I did. So make a variable called my column. And I want to do this process right here. But I want to, instead of hard coding in a column, I want to put in my variable superpower. Superpower And then I want to add this to my dictionary. So superpower, and the key is going to be the superpower. And then the value is going to be my call. And if I run this, so I get 242 for agility, 178 for accelerated healing, 11. So that all looks pretty good to me. But now we only want the top 5 most common powers overall. So if you remember how to sort a dictionary, I usually cannot sort dictionary by value Python. There's nothing wrong with having to Google stuff and look up on Stack Overflow. Usually the first answer is a pretty good one, especially if there's a green check mark. And in this case, 4,000 people have upvoted it. So, and in Python 3, which is what we're using, I'm going to steal this code. And I'm going to call it sorted dictionary. And instead of X, I have superpower dict. And let's take a look at it. Sorted dictionary. So now it is sorted in ascending order. Cool. So super strength is the top one. So I want to grab the last 5. So sorted dictionary and -5. Boop. That'll give me the last 5. So these are what I want to plot. And that's what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to make this a variable. We'll call it top 5. And that equals this right here. So top 5. Now I want to grab the labels, and I want to grab the values, because that's going to be, this will be, make a bar plot. These will be the labels. These will be the values, or how long the bars are. So labels, I'm going to do some list comprehension to do this. So for X in top 5, X is, I'll do it in a regular for loop to make it a little easier to follow along. Labels equals blank. For X in top 5, print X. So each time through, it grabs, these are all tuples, so it grabs each of the tuples. So if I want the labels, I want to grab the first element, which is will be square bracket 0. So now it's that, and I want to append this. So labels.append x0. And if we look at labels, now I have that, and I want to do the same thing with values. And let's leave that actually. And values is that, and then I want to make my bar plot now. I'm going to do a horizontal bar chart. I just kind of like them a little bit better, especially when you have kind of long labels. So I'll show you what happens if I make a regular bar plot first. Plot.bar, range, length of labels. So that is going to make 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to make a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's where it'll put each of these numbers. So which are my values. So if I print that now, I get this. You can't put in the labels directly. You'll have to put that in a second step. So if I do plot.xticks, I'll do the same thing, range, length of labels, and then I'll put in my labels. So at 0, I want to put agility, and 1, super speed, and etc. And see, these labels are a little bit long, so they kind of overlap. So I think a horizontal bar chart will look a little bit better. And now I need to change this to be y-ticks, because these are the labels. Y-ticks. And let me put in, just to add a little bit of style to it, plot .style.use ggplot. So now if we run it, already looks cooler. plot dot X label, count, plot dot title, most common superpowers. So cool. Yeah. Well, hopefully this was helpful for everyone, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.